Here we are. It's Memorial Day weekend 2021. Let's take a look at the garden. The Chehalis apple is looking good. The Enterprise apple. The blackberries are just starting to come on. And they're delicious. This year I've moved my tomatoes to where my melons usually are, so they're lining the walkway. The pomegranates are in full bloom and looking great. If I keep them well fed and watered, hopefully we'll have a lot of pomegranates. The borage is very pared back. I had a lot of it all over the place, but as I started putting in the rest of the garden, I kind of trimmed it back. Here are some Goldilocks beans and some amethyst beans. I planted these a couple of months ago, a little early for beans, but they're starting to come on now. If you look closely, you can see some little teeny beans. Here are some cucumbers going to work their way up this little trellis. And perhaps the favorite part of my garden, these are shelling peas that I planted a few months ago. They have been delightful. And I love the way the nasturtium just flows and cascades down the side of the garden boxes. Of the many sunflower seeds I planted, only one sprouted, so I'm gonna have to try again. But here we'll continue through more nasturtiums, which are edible, into some Oregon giant snow peas as we move our way down. Just yesterday, I put in a bunch of beans, and I'm gonna try some summer peas. I've heard that if you make sure they have some shade and water, you can pull it off. This desert sand or desert king fig is looking good. And this Italian everbearing fig is just starting to show some small fruits. The very wild and left feral strawberry patch is producing a lot of red berries. The real challenge is to get to them before the ants and snails do. And my garden is absolutely teeming with this western fence lizard. They're everywhere. Can you see the tiny fruits on this Australian fingerling lime tree? It's really well past my kumquat season, but there's a few stragglers that are still giving me a bit of delight and a punch of vitamin C. I think of kumquats as nature's Sour Patch Kid. And this is a dragon fruit cactus that I was supposed to repot a year ago, and it just never happened. But you can see the little roots searching. Maybe I'll get to it sometime this summer. One of my favorite parts of the yard, with all the different colored geraniums and Gerber daisies, just pops with color. And finally, at the very end, some pretty tough and hardy lavenders. The Centennial lime kumquat is just coming on with a variety of little fruits. And beyond it, the Meyer lemon has been prolific this year, and I've tried to manage it so that I've got fruit at different stages all the time. Here the herbs are doing well. Love to add some mint and marjoram and basil to some salads. In the backyard, The olive trees are in bloom. And the miniature rose I received one year from my daughter. The blueberry crop looks like it'll be a good one. And the variegated pink lemon has a few fruits left. The Barris lime has a few limes. And these Washington navel oranges are still so tiny, but they'll get a lot bigger. I hope you've enjoyed this 2021 Memorial Day weekend garden tour update.